Hey there guys, gals, and non-binary pals, it's DMG and welcome back to Blitz. Today I'm going to be kicking off a new series called Intermediate Topics. Now, I know you guys enjoy the gameplay, the mastery replays, the subscriber replays, and the back to basics videos, but these topics are more for the advanced player or the intermediate player. I mean, some even beginners can watch this, but I would say these topics are more abstract. This isn't about angling or all that other stuff, right? About what I'm going to talk about is more for what I'm saying rather than what I'm doing on screen. So you most likely all you're gonna see is this T150 for the remainder of this video. So what you can do is plug in your earbuds and go do something else and just listen to me talk if this interests you. Now, today's episode is called the chicken coop. And yes, this is a very abstract topic. It's going to be a very controversial topic. Some of you, or a lot of you, will dislike this video. But regardless, it is a topic that I think, or at least a concept that I have understood that has helped me improve my win rate and at least help, I guess, control the game better. I don't know, just in my opinion, right? But the chicken coop. And you're like, Dark, what's the chicken coop? And I said, okay, here's the chicken coop. The chicken coop is the social hierarchy of Blitz, the social structure of Blitz. And you're like, there is no such thing as the social structure of Blitz. Well, here's my theory, I guess. The 50%ers don't like the 40%ers, right? The 60%ers don't like the 50%ers. The 70%ers don't like the 60%ers or anybody else. And you're thinking, Dark, this doesn't exist. And it absolutely does. It's just like a chicken coop. There is a pecking order, a totem pole of who is superior to who. And you're like, oh, this is Dark being haughty. No, it's not Dark being haughty. Now, I strongly believe that this is a thing. And no, I'm not going to have other videos about rigged matchmaking or some other garbage crap like that. But this social structure does exist. And let me show you why. I mean, first example, you're watching my content right now. If you're listening in this far, you obviously are interested in this topic and want to help improve your win rate. There is no other reason why you would listen to me blabber, I don't know what, 2 minutes and 41 seconds into the video, or at least of my talking part, right? Now, another thing is, like, if for those of you who have subscribed to any Blitz channel, right, are most likely looking for ways to improve your win rate, whether that be myself, Bushka on Blitz, who has 42,000 subscribers. I know Anon used to be quite good back in the day when he was making videos with about 5,000 subscribers, and I know those numbers are not mutually exclusive, right? You know, you could subscribe to multiple channels, but regardless, you are trying to find ways to improve your win rate. So of course, breaking out of your win rate zone is obviously important enough for you to watch videos every day, right? You wouldn't be, like I said, you wouldn't be listening to me this far. You wouldn't be listening to Bushka, what, 3 years into the game, 4 years into the game, talking about how to improve your win rate, you know, going over the same basic things, side scraping, angling, all this different stuff. So obviously you're looking to improve. I mean, so this social hierarchy does exist. No one wants to be a 45%er forever. No one wants to be a 50%. I mean, some people are happy with 60% and all that, but hey, you know, for overachievers, right? Some people aren't even happy with 60% or even high 60s. So this social hierarchy does exist. And you're saying, okay, so it exists. So what? How does this help me improve my win rate? Well, the understanding of this concept is key because this comes into play, this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Now, this was posted on the NA forums talking about the player base as a whole, or at least the majority of the player base, or I would say the ignorant player base. And that does not mean stupid, guys. That just means unknowing, right? But regardless, the ignorant player base, the Dunning-Kruger effect. Dunning-Kruger effect essentially says that people overestimate their ability at something that they are not very good at. I have done this before too. I mean, I don't think that's the case with Blitz, but I've done it in other pursuits. And you see this every day. 45%ers calling directions thinking that they understand what they're doing. Even 50%ers do the same thing. Like, I specifically remember a VKB on Oasis Palms calling town, town, town. And I said, why? And he goes, just trust me, I know what I'm doing. We ended up getting steamrolled 7-0 that match. And I asked him, why town? And he goes, well, because we had more heavies, and then just some other ridiculous crap that didn't really make a lot of sense, right? But the point is, I checked this guy's win rate, and he was 45%, or I don't even remember, not even 45, but just somewhere that was white, you know, somewhere below 48, right? Because that's considered the average win rate in the World of Tanks Blitz player base. And I said, why? And he goes, oh, well, you know, have more heavy tanks, blah, blah, blah. He starts giving me all these reasons. But it's obviously clueless, he's obviously clueless as to his thinking. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I said, okay, whatever. I just left him thinking that maybe eventually he'd see the light. But this chicken coop exists, and this effect exists in Blitz a lot. This Dunning-Kruger effect, about how people who think they have some kind of semblance of what they're doing, and just overestimate their ability in it, just fail their way up tiers. You know, these are the people that think that define skill as how many tier 10 tanks you have in your garage, or how many battles you have, right? You know, or your military honor rating, or some ridiculous crap like that. You know, these people don't understand the concept of the chicken coop. Now, you need to understand where you are in the chicken coop, right? Are you able to say, I am better than someone else, therefore I can give you directions, blah, 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 blah. And you're thinking, wow, Dark, that's really mean, because you're basically saying other players don't have a voice. Well, yeah, kind of I am. It's kind of the tough truth of it all, and it's, like I said, it's a controversial topic. It's very abstract, but you need to understand where you are in this chicken coop. When a 60%er tells you, a 50%er, to do something, I do it. I don't know about you, but you know, if a 40%er calls a direction and a 60%er calls a direction, right? I don't care if the 40%, you know, like if it's Middleburg, right, and you have 7 heavies or 6 heavies and 1 medium, and the 40%er says everyone go town, but then the 60%er says everyone go hill, I don't care what it looks like. Please listen to the 60%er, right? I mean, who are you going to listen to, right? Who is more likely to win games for you, right? And yes, okay, win rate is not the best metric, right? Or not always the best metric. Sometimes it can be manipulated in a certain sense. You know, you could play a lot of low tiers and win a bunch of battles, then go play a tier 10 tank, right? I mean, hashtag General Big Ben, right? But the point is, you need to understand where you are in this chicken coop, right? If you are the good player in your team, feel free to give other players directions. And people who are below you should be sacrificing their HP for you, should be spotting, or should be supporting, right? You know, whatever their role is, whether that's like light tank, medium tank, tank destroyer, heavy tank, blah, blah, blah. You know, but in order to win, you need to put your best players in a position to excel. And sometimes you're the best player, sometimes you're not, but you need to understand where you are in this pecking order to be able to give directions or not give directions, stuff like that. And you're like, wow, this is a really kind of shitty topic to talk about, because it just kind of devalues the meaning of other players. And you know, yeah, kind of, but that's the hard reality of it. I'm sure I'm sure a lot of you have maybe thought about this at some point, but never really thought about it in depth. But this chicken coop exists. This social hierarchy of it all. This I am better than you because I have a higher win rate, so therefore I am able to give you directions. That kind of thing, right? And yeah, it's not pretty for the 40%. It's not pretty for the 50%. But here's the catch, right? There's this relationship. I can't even call it parasitic because it doesn't hurt one party, but it's almost like mutually beneficial between 70 percenters and 40 percenters, or 60 percenters and 50 percenters, whatever you want to call it, right? It's this, if you die for me, I'll make you win. I know that's a kind of a tough truth to to kind of swallow, right? But if you're not that good, let someone who is good have the opportunity to do their job and be good and showcase their ability, right? And you're like, well, how is that improving my game? Well, you get win rate because they make you win if you sacrifice your HP for them or do something that puts them in a position to excel. I don't care whether that's spotting for them, supporting them, taking a hit for them. It could be any number of things. I'm just saying taking a hit because it's easily the most blatant thing that you can do to help them, right? But if they make you win, your win rate also increases. Do that enough times over enough battles, and then you become the good player, right? Because your win rate is then enhanced by someone else. And then, of course, you have all these new players coming in the game. Every single day, someone is signing up. And then you say, well, I'm the good player, so you die for me. And it's this cycle that repeats itself. Or not even a cycle, but it's this pecking order that just keeps coming bigger and bigger and bigger with larger echelons of each type of player. 40 percenters, 50 percenters, 60 percenters, 70 percenters, 80 percenters. I mean, there's only one that I have ever known of that plays at a decently high average tier. But regardless, the point is you can improve your win rate by listening to good players. You only stand to benefit as someone with a, let's say, like a sub 60% win rate. You only stand to benefit by listening to them. Because if you had to take advice from a 40%er or a 60%er on where to go, who would you take advice from? Who wins more? 60%er or 40%er? I'd go with the 60%er. I mean, like that's where my money would be. And yes, you may die. Yes, you may meet a grim demise. And of course, maybe you may lose on the team with the 60%er, but I would say it would happen less often than as you would with the 40%er. But this understands, well, not this understands, but I hope this helps you understand the chicken coop. This whole mantra of I'm better than you, so I get to give you directions. And yeah, it's kind of sucky, but it exists. And it's just the way it is, I guess. And yeah, I don't really know how to, I guess, expound upon this more. But that's how you improve your win rate, because like, even if you die, you get to watch them and see what they do, right? And then you yourself become a better player. Then you just go and you could probably copy what they do, and then, it's this repeating cycle. That's this vicious cycle that just continues to expound upon itself. For me, understanding the chicken coop really helped me improve as a player, because at some points I felt that I needed to open my ears and eyes and listen, and kind of sponge as much information as I could from watching another good player do what they did. And sometimes I did that. I learned some interesting spots, some interesting tactics, different ways to approach different scenarios just by watching. There was no communication. There was no me asking them questions of how they did what they did. I was just watching, just sponging as much information as I can, trying to analyze every reason why they would make a certain move. Sometimes they would shoot at weak points that I wouldn't previously know about. But other times, right, if I was the best player, it would give me the confidence to command. Because I'd have the ethos to say, I am better than you, therefore I give you directions. And this kept improving my win rate to the point where I am still trending upwards at a win rate of 71%. That is insane, I would say, for the average Blitz player, right? I am still raising my win rate somewhat, or not even somewhat, pretty reliably at 22,000 battles. I mean, at least for me, there has to be some truth to this. So that's really all I have on this topic. What do you think of the chicken coop? These are my questions for you. What do you think of the chicken coop? Do you think it exists? Do you think it doesn't? I mean, first, I think that one has already kind of been answered, but do you think the chicken coop is good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think the structure should be changed? Do you like the structure? Where do you see yourself in the structure of the chicken coop? So I guess just kind of leave your comments below. Like I said, this is going to be a very controversial, abstract topic that I'm sure some people won't enjoy hearing, because I wouldn't say it's a shame the masses kind of thing, but it's kind of a hard truth video about Blitz if you want to get better. Anyways, if you like that content, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. And if you didn't, please leave your constructive comments in the oh my gosh, I cannot talk. Please leave your constructive criticism in the comment section. As always, I appreciate the opportunity to share my passion with you today, and I hope to see you next time.